So hey everybody, thanks for tuning in for another quick channel C.G.E video. If you watched my previous videos, you know that recently I was debating getting a really awesome high-end Tiburon. Bonk! I got my insurance in the mail the next day and it went way up. So between the cost of the car and the insurance, both, I could not afford another vehicle. So I decided to keep the Super 10. Well, also if you watched some of my previous videos, you know a concern of mine with keeping this is the horsepower. It's really slow. I like a little bit extra power, you know, but who doesn't, really, you know? So since I'm keeping this, to get some more power out of it, I'm gonna go turbo. So come check out my new forced induction system. Well, hey ladies and gentlemen, here it is, my new turbo. This is J-Spec JDM turbo that has been imported from Japan. It's meant for Nissan Skyline R35, but I have a kit that I'm going to adapt this up to the GM 2.8 liter. So yeah, I'm going to install this awesome JDM turbo on my truck. It's going to boost my horsepower by probably at least 150 horsepower. Well, you know, this isn't the top of the line JDM turbo, but it's going to give me a bunch more horsepower, you know. Alright, well, if you're a car guy and you haven't either clicked off this video or punched it in the screen on your computer by now, this is definitely not a turbo. This is not giving me any horsepower. This is actually a fake blow-off valve. Pretty simple design. All it does is wire up to my red power and my black ground on the battery, and then this switch runs into the cab, and it's meant so that it'll hook up to the pedal and it'll ground out, and then it will go out here. What I'm actually going to attempt to do is mount this up to my shift knob so that whenever I shift or whenever, I can just press this and get the sound. Basically all this is a speaker, kind of like a loudspeaker, and it's going to be very loud when it cranks up because, I mean, your engine's running, so it's got to be kind of loud, but it's going to emit the sound out of here, and every time this button gets pressed. Here's the little button, and then these are the two wires that are going to go onto the battery. I'm probably just going to wrap them around the battery terminals for now, but I'm going to put them into the fuse box later on once I, you know, try it out and everything. But yeah, so let's get it installed up on the S10. All right, well, first things first, I need to find a spot to mount the actual red thingy up under the hood of the car. And I'm thinking over in here would probably be a good spot. I could utilize these holes in the side of the front quarter panel. It comes with some, let me show you some extra stuff here. Comes with a few nuts and bolts, some real small nuts and bolts to actually mount the turbo up, and some self-tapping screws to drill through the side of the car. It also comes with some small zip ties to tie the wire up to the side. It also comes with these two brackets. This actually goes on the fake turbo, and then it has two holes in it, and then this will go onto that, and I can wrap it around something like, I could even wrap it around that pillar if I wanted to, or do whatever. So yeah, that's basically all there is to it. So I'm just gonna get this mounted up and check back in when I'm done. Right guys, well, I got a lot done since I last checked in with you. Here it is. Boy, you want to talk about redneck install. I used all zip ties because I couldn't find bolts here that fit, but when I do, I'll put it together the right way. But for now, zip ties for life I put in there. So there's the wires running into the truck. I'll show you what those do in a second. And then here's the wires that are going to go over the battery. I'm about to hook them up. I ran the wire up through this hole here by the hinge. I hope that's not going to come down on the wires. I really hope not. Yeah, I ran it down through there and in over here in the vent on the side here. I'm not sure if I should do that or not, but that's what I'm doing. So yeah, and I ran the wires around here. They weren't quite long enough to put them up on the shifter, so I extended them. I had a little bit of, I believe this is 14 gauge wire, but anyway, I extended them best as I could, and I just taped it onto the shift knob. So yeah, I'm gonna get things together. I'm gonna hook it up to the battery, and then I'm gonna test it out before I go any further. So I'll do that and check back in. Alright guys, well, it's been a day or two since I last film. Last you saw, I was going to try to wire up the power to the fake blow-off valve to the battery. I did attempt to do that, but it was actually taking a continuous load off the battery to run that. So I was like, well, I kind of wanted to wire it in so it went on and off with the ignition anyway, so I decided to go that route. So I had my brother come up. He's a qualified diesel mechanic. He came up and wired it up, and I'm going to show you exactly how he did that. But it turns out that little switch that you actually press to make the blow-off sound, there were two plugs for the one wire, and one was normally open and normally closed. One would have it so when the switch was let off on, it would make the sound, and the other one had it so if you pressed on the switch, it would make the sound. So depending on your situation, you know, what pedal you have it hooked to or how you have it hooked to the pedal, you might want it either way. So it turned out mine was so when it was let off the switch, it was always making the sound. So that's why the continuous load on the battery. So I could have hooked up to the battery, but it's probably better that we went down into the fuse box and had it go on and off with the ignition anyway. But I was really glad to have him come up, and just a shout out to Bri. Thanks a lot for coming and helping me out with this little wiring project. But anyway, let me show you what we did. Alright, well here's the blow-off valve. You saw this already. I got this and the switches, two wires going into the cab. I ended up deciding not to go down through here because this was rubbing the wires a little and I didn't want that to happen, so I decided to run them up through here and in the door. I'll show you that in a second too, but yeah, he ran the ground over here to ground with the horn, which is right down there, and he ran the power inside too and hooked it up to the fuse box. So here's the wires coming inside the car. I haven't done anything to make them look good yet, but they're just kind of hanging here. But and also you're not supposed to mix colored wires so that you don't get them confused. But anyway, we ran out of red, so we needed to use some black. By the way, he linked it up with that fuse. It was an extra fuse. I don't exactly know anything. Actually, I don't know anything about this, but you basically just shoved the wire in the fuse and it worked. So, and it goes on and off with the ignition switch. So yeah, we were also going to attempt to wire it up to the pedal, but rather than do that, we ended up just putting it here on the side of the shifter, so you just hit it with your finger. But yeah, so let me turn the key and you can hear what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like, but it kind of sounds like a firework that's in the upstroke of, you know, going psst. But once you get it out on the road, it actually sounds a lot better when you do it with the engine corresponding with the shifts and everything. So let's start it up, take it out on the road and see how it sounds. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the fake blow-off valve. Universal, just wire it up and have some fun. Of course, you want to make sure you do the wiring right, you know, and everything like that. Maybe talk to somebody who's qualified like I did. But I gotta tell you, that is a ton of fun, especially for, you know, $28. That is really, really funny. And I can't wait to get it around some people so that I can get some reactions of bystanders. Anyway, thanks for watching this quick little channel C.G.E video. Give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and also comment down below if you have any questions about this or anything you want to say. Again, thanks for watching. Watch our new videos every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You guys rock, so God bless and have a good one.